Hello, my dear students. I hope you all are keeping safe and taking very good care of yourself. Let us begin a new chapter today. Chapter 9, Force and Laws of Motion. So, in the previous chapter, we described the motion of an object along a straight line in terms of its position, velocity, and acceleration. We saw that such a motion can be uniform and non-uniform. But we have not yet discovered what causes motion. So in this chapter, we will be studying about the cause of motion. Okay, in the previous chapter, we have studied how the motion of an object is described. But how this motion is caused, that we are going to study today. So how does an object start moving? The very basic thing, we need to put some effort to make a stationary object move, isn't it? If a ball is at rest, you have to hit it so that it can move. Clear? So a force is a push or a pull. This is a very simple and a basic explanation of force. Now if you see here, what is this boy doing? He is pushing the box and he is pulling the box. In both the cases, box will show the movement. It will move, isn't it? So now what is a force? Whenever we push or pull an object, a force acts upon them and makes them move from one place to another. Hence, force can initiate motion in a motionless object. Initiate motion in a motionless object means it will start motion if a body is at rest. Okay, this is what it means. Change can be either increase or decrease in the velocity of a moving object. With the more force, you can change the velocity of the object. It can alter the direction of moving object. Alter again means change. Okay, so it can change the direction of a moving object and it can change the shape and size of an object. Now here are some effects of force. If you see here, a man uses a force to move a stationary lawn mower. Now this cannot move without a force. A footballer uses a force to change the direction of the motion of the ball. A cyclist uses a bigger force to paddle his bicycle and increase his speed. So in order to increase the speed, he needs more force. A baker uses a force in his dough to shape it into a curry puff in order to give the shape. So it is said that it can change the shape and size of an object. Now we have two types of forces, balanced forces and unbalanced forces. Here in balanced forces, resultant will be zero. Resultant is equal to 0 means nothing will happen. Suppose a box is kept here. I am applying a force from, say a person A is applying a force from this side and a person B is applying a force from this side. Now both are balanced. Okay, if this is 2 Newton force, this is also 2 Newton force, then this will not move. We will say that the forces applied were the balanced forces. So please have a look. When equal amount of forces are applied on an object from different directions such that they cancel out each other, they are called the balanced forces. They do not change the state of rest or motion of an object. They may change the shape and size of an object. For example, like if it is a balloon and you apply force from two opposite sides, then what will happen? The shape of the balloon may change when the balanced forces are applied. Okay. For unbalanced forces here, resultant will not be equal to 0. That's how whichever force will be more, that way only the motion will take place. When forces applied to an object are of different magnitude, not in opposite direction so as to cancel each other, they can alter state of rest or of motion of an object and they can cause acceleration. They can change the shape of an object. So just now we have seen they are of two types, balanced force and unbalanced force. Balanced force will not bring any change in the body. If you see here, keeping a cup on a table, so the weight of the cup is acting downwards, and the force exerted by the table on the cup is acting upward, and both are of same nature, so it is a balanced force. Now here if you see, this person is applying more force and this object is applying less force. That is why you can see an unbalanced nature here. Now we have one more thing, force of friction. It is a force extended when two surfaces are in contact with each other. It always acts in direction opposite to the direction of motion. Very important. Okay. So what is force of friction? Force of friction is also a force which acts when two bodies are in contact with each other. Let us say this is A and this is B. So the force of friction will only act when the bodies are in contact with each other. And what will happen? It always acts in direction opposite to the motion. If you see, let us say the pushing force is applied in this direction. Can you see arrow? So motion will happen in the same direction in which direction the force is applied, but frictional force will always take place in the opposite direction to the force applied. Suppose this is another box. I am applying my force from this side. Then what? And it is kept on a table. Then the frictional force, this will be the frictional force which will be acting in the opposite direction. And in order to move, we have to overcome this frictional force. If you are standing on a ground, okay, and you want to move, you cannot move till your force is less than frictional force. As the time, if this is the force applied by person and this is the frictional force, so to move, force applied by person should be greater than the frictional force. Getting the concept or not? As soon as your uh, force is greater than frictional force, then only you can move. So that was all for today, my dear students. Please read page number 114, 115 and 116 of your book too, so that the topics are clear. And be ready for a test in next class of motion. Thank you. Have a nice day.